Continue with 9.1, example 4, 5, and 6. Go ahead and work together on those three problems. So, some clarification. First, on example 4, when it says solve triangle ABC, it means find all other side lengths. And it generally means find the angle measures as well. However, we have not talked about that yet. Okay? So, but I'm sure you can find the other angle measure just using your triangle angle sum theorem. Okay? So find all side lengths there. All right? If I know an angle of A, the side opposite angle A is side A, lowercase a. By the way, notice they use big A and small a. Okay? When you're dealing with triangles and trig, your angle will be big, the uppercase. Lowercase will be your side length. Okay? So get in that habit. It's a big deal how you write your letters now. Okay? So A, this is opposite, this is adjacent. So when I'm dealing with opposite and adjacent, which one is that? Tangent. Tangent of 28 is equal to A over 15. So to solve, cross multiply. Get 15 tan 28 is equal to A. So A is approximately 7.98. All right. Now, if I want to find C, that's my hypotenuse, and I do actually have adjacent and hypotenuse. I could use a few different functions there, but adjacent and hypotenuse is cosine. Thank you. Cosine of 28, should be of 28 there, is equal to 15 over h. Now some people don't like having the variable in the denominator because it adds an extra step. So if you wanted the variable on top, which function should you use? Which flips it? Secant. If you use secant of 28, then it flips it. Then you have h over 15. And you save yourself a step. Okay, it's up to you. Either way, you'll get the same answer. This would give you 15 secant 28 equals h. This one would give you h times cosine 28 equals 15. The extra step involved here, you'd have to divide 15 by cosine 28. Either way, you should have h is, go ahead and calculate it out. What do we get? Okay, about 16.99. Now I heard some of you going, where is secant? Where is secant? How do I do that? Where is secant? Well, secant is the same as 1 over cos. Okay? 1 over cos. You could put it like that as well. Okay? So it'd be 15. Notice if I do that, that's 15 times 1 over cos, which is the same as that. Right? Okay, just so you know.
You know, in that problem, you could have just done a squared plus b squared equals c squared.
Well, you had a rounded value here. Okay?
I said that's 16.99.
Yeah. Hey guys, it's a good point. Once you find this, if we plug that in for A and use the Pythagorean theorem, there's a chance you get a rounding error up here. Okay? In this case, it doesn't sound like it happened, but there's a chance. What is this angle measure? 62 using triangle angle sum theorem, right? These two have to add up to 90 because that's 90. So 90 minus 28 equals 62. Okay. Very good. All right. Let me know if you have questions on it. You should be off to example 5 if you haven't already started it. Okay. Hey guys, this triangle is a little tougher to see, so I'm going to sketch it out here. We have quite a range of skills right now in here in terms of this. So some of you are really getting it, some of you are struggling a bit with it, and some of you are just waiting maybe for me to do it to make sure that you don't write something on your paper that's wrong. Okay. Hey, really, we're trying to find this distance here, which we'll call letter B, lowercase b. Okay, and we know that this is 76 in relation to this angle. Okay, in relation to that angle right there, you're dealing with opposite. That's what you're trying to find, and this is adjacent. Okay, we know this is 2, so if I use opposite and adjacent, I'm using tangent. Tangent of 76 is equal to the opposite over the adjacent. So you get 2 tan 76 is equal to 8.0 miles. Okay, which is equal to B. Yes. Okay, how many got it? Very good. How many are done with number 6? All right, compare with your neighbor real quick, please. Hey, a parasailer is attached to a boat with a rope 72 feet long. The angle of elevation. So first you need to remember, when you're dealing with angle of elevation, you're dealing with a horizontal line. And from that horizontal, you are elevating. Okay? Versus an angle of depression, which would mean you are going down. So this is an angle of elevation from a horizontal line. Make a note of that. Okay? It's 28 degrees. The rope's 72 feet long. Here is our triangle. Estimate how, or the height of the parasailer is above the boat. So we're dealing with this value right here. So maybe rather than calling it X, let's call it X rather than H. Okay? All right, so if we're dealing with that, we're tracing this angle. We have the opposite side and the hypotenuse, so that is sine of 28 is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. So 72 sine 28 is equal to? Good. All right. That's a long ways up, man. Jordan.
I just want to clarify that. How did you know that the 72 feet was the hypotenuse?
Because it says it's a rope attached. So here's our boat. Not that it looks like that. And here's our parasailer.
Oh.
Hanging out up there. All right? They have the rope. Liking the art. Okay, so you should have yesterday's assignment out now, 9.1. We left off yesterday. You were to complete problem 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I know some of you had a hard time, but that may have been squelched a bit by our warm-up today. So some of those problems may have been put to rest, I hope. But number 1, go ahead and share your answers with your neighbor there.
Sine of theta equals.
Okay. Hey, first thing you had to do was find that third length there, and that is an 8, 15, 17 triangle. Okay? And so by finding that, using the Pythagorean theorem or knowing it's Pythagorean triple, then you can find your different ratios. So remember, all you're doing here is comparing opposite over hypotenuse, adjacent over hypotenuse, opposite over adjacent. Okay, hypotenuse over opposite, hypotenuse over adjacent, and adjacent over opposite. So those, just getting all your trig functions and getting those ratios down there. Any questions on number 1? Okay, any questions on number 3 or 4? Go ahead and compare your work for 3 and 4 with your groupies there.
What'd you get?
All right. Hey, hopefully after today's warm-up, this At least this first one was a little easier. Okay? Or excuse me, after the discussion up here, this first one was a little easier. But you're just listing your different ratios. I think the difficulty is making sure that as you're drawing out your triangle, knowing which sides they're giving you. So in this case, we've got opposite and hypotenuse. And so you're dealing with angle theta there. I have opposite would be 3, hypotenuse would be 19. And then you'd have to find this length, right? And this length, you'd have to do the Pythagorean theorem on. And when you do it, you should end up with 4 root 22. Okay, that's doing a squared plus b squared equals c squared.
That part was off screen.
Oh, thank you. Okay. So, good? All right, so our different ratios, just to check your work. Let's start with number 3. 1 over root 2 is root 2 over 2. Root 2 over 2. Cosecant, root 2. Secant, root 2. And cotangent is 1. Now these all should have thetas after them. I get lazy. Forget the theta sometimes. Okay? I know, don't be lazy. You could have put 45 also if you wanted, because technically it's a 45-degree triangle. Okay? This one right here, number 4. There's the work, by the way, for the a squared, b squared, c squared. Okay? And there we've got it. Cosine 4 root 2, or 4 root 22 over 19. Tangent 3 root 22 over 88. Cosecant 9/13. Secant 9 root 22 over 88. Cotangent 4 root 22 over 3. Questions on those two? Yes, Matt? Yes, it'll be fraction form. You're not going to put it in decimal form unless it specifically says round to the nearest 10,000th or something like that. Good question. And always rationalize that denominator. Okay, 5 and 6. Go ahead and share your answers there with your neighbors. Okay, did anyone recognize these as special? These are special. So 30, 60, 90. Therefore, this has the 2x side. And if 2x is 16, what is x? X is 8. And if x is 8, then, well, this side is 8 root 3. I know that says x also, but this side is 8 root 3. So this side, rather than calling it x, is half of the hypotenuse. And this is 8 root 3. So you're thinking of your special right triangle, your 30, 60, 90. If you can recognize those, that will save you, what in the world am I doing? That would save you a ton of time. Okay? Thank you. Not as cool as the poster you made me. All right, so 60, 30, remember this is x, 2x, and x root 3, that ratio. That's the whole point. All right. Getting excited back there. Just calm down. Okay? This one here, 45, 45, 90. Remember the ratio for 45, 45, 90. I'm going to draw it this way on purpose. Thank you. That's really not an amazing picture, but x, x, and x root 2. Thank you. Still off the screen. All right. Thank you. All right, so if this is 20, this is 20, and this is 20 root 2. All right. Recognize them. It'll save you a lot of time. Okay, questions? Okay. Your assignment. Let me get that out to you.